What's going on, everybody? Today is Monday, June 15th. Welcome to day 0 of E3. The press conferences have been pressed, and we know about a lot of new games. I'm your host, Zach GhostRobo. Joining me, as always, this time, live and in living color, a really ugly color.
I want you to introduce me as your new girlfriend, by the way.
We're sharing headphones for those of you listening. Nice and close and personal. Me and Gabe have got to know each other quite well in the last 20 hours or so.
I was cold last night. Zach put on his squid hat, and then
I let you borrow my Taylor Swift blanket.
Yeah.
I've been feeding you. I've been driving you everywhere. I allowed you to use your phone in the car.
The majority of those things are true.
All of them are true, actually.
I
let you get pizza, and it wasn't even your lucky dinner.
What the? I don't know what a lucky dinner is.
Max is having a lucky dinner 3 hours ahead of us, all the way back in Canada. How's it going
already
up there?
about to fall asleep. We're almost a day ahead of you already. Almost.
What's the future like? Are the games prettier? Are they prettier than Fallout 4?
I don't want to say anything because last time we received enough about Fallout 4. So from now on, I'm just gonna say Fallout 4 is the greatest.
There we go.
No, but speaking of the greatest, though, let's just talk about you want to talk about the really cool shit first, or
let's just go through the conferences.
Okay,
one by one.
Okay, all right. So the cool stuff is at the end. All right.
I guess we can. Bethesda's kind of opened things up, so we can touch on it briefly. We've talked about Fallout so much, but just quick hits from that. I thought Doom looked insanely impressive, visually and gameplay wise. Like I had no intention of being interested, and that was super freaking cool.
Max,
looks a little repetitive.
Doom?
Yeah.
Dude, they showed you 5 minutes of it.
No, I know, but what I mean is even when we saw the chainsaw animations and stuff like that, it was like, am I really gonna have to see that animation every single time?
Well, all right, let's not do this, right? Because we've seen 5 minutes of the game. We don't want to.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. To me, Doom just looked okay. Whatever.
Okay.
I wasn't as hyped about it. I think the one thing that was incredible.
Whatever you just said.
It's incredible. That's what I felt about Dishonored 2, having a female main character, choosable main character is pretty sweet.
Is it incredible? I think it would have been incredible if every other game that was announced wasn't a female, because every game is a female. That's cool.
Year of the female pro tag.
I blame Polygon, but it's okay.
You blame Polygon.
Yeah, no, that's all right.
Well, it's about time, so it's nice to see. It's really cool.
Next year will be Year of the Frog.
This year's the year of the yarn.
Yeah, we had another. I was like, Yoshi's Woolly World is now a weird, ugly creature.
Well, let's stay on track though.
Okay, Bethesda, Fallout 4.
The Doom stuff, because I didn't get to touch on. I thought it looked really, really good. I'm like Zach, I don't care about Doom whatsoever, and now I really, really want to play it. So, Dishonored gonna be cool, and the Fallout stuff. That's Fallout. It's Fallout mixed with Rust, because you get to build stuff. And Zach doesn't care about that, but it looks very, very cool. You get to make these towers. I don't know if you saw, but that guy, they showed the Pit Boy that was, not the Pit Boy, the little dude. What the hell's his name?
Little Boy.
Not Fallout Boy, because that's a rock band of some kind. But the guy, I'm blanking out. Whatever. They showed him.
The Vault Boy?
Yeah. They showed him. They made him out of yellow and blue blocks and stuff.
Those
really were panels.
All the building.
Look,
stuff.
The armor, the fact that you can just customize on top of the armor, the weapons, you can just add all types of scopes and stock, the actual ammo that you're using. Everything is customizable for the guns. It's crazy.
I thought it looked really like a sequel, like what a sequel would be, right? They took all the systems from Fallout 3 and they built on them, not in crazy ways, but in definite improving ways, right? The shooting looks a little bit better. I thought some of the encounters looked more dynamic and bigger, more boss epic wise.
Quicker, very
a lot quicker. Moving faster. Yeah. The dialogue has gone to more of a suggestion system rather than a scroll through and read the whole sentence, kind of like Mass Effect transitioned throughout that series. Graphically, it's still whatever. But I personally was really, really impressed after being kind of skeptical as heck after the trailer.
Yeah. Plus, the one thing that gets glided over, and I'm kind of glad it's getting glided over, because I think if you overhype this, it's going to be terrible. The mods. Mods are coming to Xbox One, and that could open up the game so much, because the modding community for Fallout is just crazy big on PC. And the fact that you're going to be able to play all that, it's going to destroy your frame rate. But
yeah, the question I have is the PC, you can make mods and tap into all that power, but if you have limited power on the Xbox One, how much maybe mods in terms of like, oh, everyone's a My Little Pony character now.
Yeah,
That's what
I mean,
I
I
want.
think again, that we don't really know much about that, so I'm not sure like how much in depth we can go. But from what I remember, he said specifically approved mods.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be every mod that is on PC is there. So it's probably going to be a very select few.
I just want to be My Little Pony. That's all I want. But all right, are we gonna give a grade to these things? Just
Sure.
very quick. Just all right. I give that one an A. You?
For sure, especially with I thought it was a really nice touch to announce Fallout Shelter for iOS and say like it's out now. Gives you a little bit of a breadcrumb trail
People
to
are
follow.
loving it. Have you seen the Twitter stuff? People love that game. Yeah.
And then the November 10th date, that's right where we want it to be.
Yeah, I'd probably give it like 8.5.
All right.
We all did letters except Max. All
Yeah,
right.
that's good. We're appealing to both the numerically numeral lovers.
I gotta
and
go
the
numerically.
Alpha lovers.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so Microsoft came next, and they promised the biggest, best lineup in Xbox history. And I gotta say, like, for that
They
statement,
shouldn't have done that.
I don't know that they really did that.
They shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. I mean, you see, the problem with Microsoft is exactly what we said. I feel like the main issue was that almost nearly everything that was revealed, we knew was going to be revealed.
Yeah.
So I think that hindered it more so than anything else. The fact that we already knew that it was going to be there.
Strong lineup though. That can't be taken away from them. Like Halo looked cool. Halo looked very cool. The squad commands weren't like as deep as I was hoping, but then also maybe they're gonna have more, and this is just what they happen to be showing. They showed this one level. They showed the bad guy, I guess, not John Locke, because John Locke isn't the bad guy, but the
Mr. Locke.
no, the big dude with the skull face.
Yeah,
I don't know
the guy,
what.
the Prometheus.
Guardian.
Yeah.
Whatever he's called.
Yeah.
He looked cool. I'm not super into Halo, but yeah, that was the thing. I was expecting like something else for the year because there had been rumors and press people have been saying like, hey, they're gonna have one more big game coming out this year, and they didn't. And Gears is $60, and that's confirmed, and they're selling you a $150 controller, and it was good. It just nothing like groundbreaking. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think the thing people are really excited about is the backwards compatibility. I think a lot of people, which I think it's a great feature. But for example, they confirmed by the end of the year, it's only going to be 21 titles.
Yeah.
Which is insanely small.
So, and it's not going to be like Halo 1, 2, and 3 because they want you to buy the remasters. So it's going to be like Banjo-Kazooie, they said, Viva
which ones they are,
Pinata.
actually, the list is out there, by the way. Perfect Dark Zero is on the list. Mass Effect 1 is on the list. That's all I know. It's plugged in. How could that be?
Yeah, but again, I think most of the games that are like, because you get into a weird thing of like, what do you do with remasters now? What am I going to buy the remaster when I could just go buy the Xbox 360 version, and how far, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, the battery.
So
there was an issue. I'm sorry, but yeah.
it's all good.
And they didn't announce a Mass Effect remaster, right? That's not a thing. After all.
I think the weird thing about Microsoft, like out of context, right? Microsoft as a whole, I thought the conference was really impressive. You get a really nice look at a really pretty Tomb Raider, a much prettier Halo, a very pretty Gears 4, a nice.
Really? A very pretty gear. Did you watch it in person? Because over here it was basically black screens.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it looked.
Yeah, it
we had
looked
a pretty
good.
quality feed at that point, and I thought it looked pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. On our end, a lot, like you saw all the memes that came out. People were like, I got screenshots of Gears of War, and it's just black.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't see half the game.
Yeah, and I thought like the indie push, the ID at Xbox stuff was a nice touch. Like
that stuff was
They
impressive.
kind of flipped the script a little bit
Yeah.
there from what Sony normally does, bringing the people on stage and giving them a chance to spotlight. So from that standpoint, I thought it was really strong. The hard part is then taken out of context, you realize that basically they had like a very like sequel focused status quo. We're moving one year to the next type conference.
Yeah.
Whereas I would have liked to see them be a little bit more risky.
But then they had Cuphead.
They did have Cuphead.
That's all. That matters.
Exactly. I was just going to mention that. Yeah, because that was. I mean, to be fair, I think it's going to be an awful game from a gameplay standpoint because the gameplay itself was like. Did you see the gameplay? It's you have a monster on the side and you're just constantly like.
It's like
it
a
didn't
bullet
look.
hell side scroller.
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Look cool. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, we'll see. So I don't know how much it will be cool in terms of other than aesthetically, but aesthetically it looks incredible. I mean, there's nothing like it, and that's something that it's really hard to say nowadays, especially in the indie space. So they really captured a unique look.
I suppose the next big thing is Tomb Raider, but again, we don't have to get into the whole Max thinks it's not cool thing. But me and Zach were watching, and we were sort of like fanboying out. Like,
I was freaking out.
It looked good. It looked really good.
Did they show us anything incredible? No, but like visually, it was, I thought, stunning.
Yeah. I mean, like, you see, this is the thing though. Like, I felt like when you're doing a sequel, I know maybe for a lot of people it's just like, hey, give me more of the same. But here, like, I don't know. To me, I like a sequel to do something different. And I feel like when you're doing a reveal like this, that's your chance to show, hey, this is what we're doing different. Here, it was just basically, we're doing a different setting. It still looks good. It sounds good. The one issue I have is that what we saw from all of that, like if you go back to it, I watched it already again. And the second time I watched it, it just felt like an endless runner. Like there was not a lot of gameplay components to it. It was basically like, here she goes, climbing, jumping, climb. And it wasn't as dynamic as like I would have loved it to be.
To be fair, if you remember like the Uncharted 2 and 3 reveals, like those, this is what that was. And those games ended up being great. Because I believe it was the Uncharted 2 one where they showed that fire level where you're basically just going through it and running through. That's, you know, they're not showing a lot of gunplay, but it's there.
I mean, it is an interesting choice because the new things about Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider are the fact that, one, the upgrade system is much more complex. Two, the tombs and the levels are much expanded with bigger puzzles. Three, the hunting system, the crafting system is very elaborate. And yeah, they showed none of that. I would have.
So we basically saw none of it. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like it just, to me, I feel like if they are going to do something different with the game, show me. Like, what are you going to do?
You're not worthy.
So that's all I'm saying.
They put like their hot sizzle reel moment chase sequence, fall sequence, you know, exciting. Like it felt like a Call of Duty demo to me. Like, let's get the most like explosive thing we can put on screen.
They didn't have Call of Duty, so they
so Tomb Raider was their Call of Duty.
Touch on Gears very quick. Did you play it, Max? Because we couldn't, because hotel.
No, I've not played it yet. Okay. I was super busy. But if people are watching this like within the week of when we uploaded this or listening to it, then it's still available. You can sign up for the Gears, what do they call it? Ultimate Edition beta?
Yeah.
Did you find that like super strange? Like, hey, we're bringing backwards compatibility back to the Xbox One. Hey, come buy Gears of War 1 for $60.
Yeah. It is strange, but again, I don't think this is a show we need to get into that.
That's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, it is definitely strange. That should not be $60. Also, that controller should not be $150, but whatever.
I thought the controller was like a nice point though, because it seemed like from a system standpoint they put a lot more emphasis there, right? The backwards compatibility. I don't know if you've seen the screenshots, Max or Gabe, but they have a UI refresh coming this fall. That looks a lot cleaner. You know, they have the new controller, and they seem to also focus quite a bit on the sort of the ID'd Xbox thing. They brought in early access to consoles.
That's the one I was going to touch on. Early access,
freaky.
Man. The Long Dark is on early access on Xbox right now. You can go play that. It's a good game, Max, by the way. So if you want to play a smaller indie game that did very well on PC, The Long Dark is very cool, and it's free. So I think.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I mean, I think, again, I think that they had a strong conference. It's like, I don't think they did anything wrong or anything like that. And I think the biggest point that maybe we didn't raise for them, that I think many people are skipping with Sony, including myself, because of the hype. It's a more recent one, so we have kind of recency bias. But I think the fact that they even took a jab at Sony and they said, games coming out this year.
Yeah.
So that is something that they do have over Sony, is that they showed us what's coming out this year. Yeah. Like a lot of the stuff they showed is this calendar year.
And here's the thing, I think, and maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't, but I think Sony's games look a lot cooler. I know you don't like Final Fantasy and Shenmue, and Shenmue's not even just a Sony game. But all right, I think Sony's games look a lot cooler.
$1 billion corporations begging for your money.
It's not them.
Doesn't matter. They're telling you, go give us money.
Yeah, and
we don't trust it enough to fund it ourselves. So you go.
Well, they're funding the rest of it. They just want $2 million.
Still.
All right, no, but here's the thing. I think Sony's games are much cooler, but we got to wait a lot longer.
Yeah, and I think the thing also is Microsoft could have came out here with Scalebound and Quantum Break, which I think are their two most interesting titles right now in terms of exclusive.
Which still may come out this year.
They've
at least one of them
for 2016.
No, neither are. No.
Oh, yeah. Really? Quantum Break for sure?
Yeah.
Spring
Quantum Break is spring. Yeah.
So
I thought maybe Scalebound, but I didn't know about both. Quantum Break.
Yeah, so those are being saved for Gamescom, which. Had those been incorporated into the show, I think it would have felt blow for blow with Sony. Their plan, again, like Max said, to show everything this year was kind of cool, but I was missing like that one, like there wasn't a holy crap moment. There wasn't a super sweet new game. They showed the Inafune new game.
Yeah,
the Mega Man
it looked cool.
Creator, Recore.
Recore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which again, girl protagonist.
Yeah, it's all girls. There's no more guys.
Yeah, but it was very much kind of a trailer. I mean, they kind of hinted at maybe some gameplay elements where I think the interesting thing here is that maybe like that little buddy that you have character,
Wally,
like, and then you gain others, right? Like the orb type thing. I think they're almost going to act like, you know how in Metroid you have different power-ups? Here, instead of you having them, you're going to get like little creatures who have them maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe that kind of hinted at that in terms of gameplay, but otherwise we didn't really learn anything.
Yeah. So what's the next one? What happened after that? EA?
I mean, Xbox, if you want to give them a grade, I think a B would be fair.
Yeah, B. I think B is very fair.
I'd probably give him like a 7.5.
All right.
For me, again,
that's
because a lot of their games I'm kind of impartial to.
Yeah, and that's
they
fine.
did touch on exclusive or early content for the Division. They touched on, they've got Gigantic, the free-to-play MMO.
Which everyone got. That was at the press conference. I wish we would have gone. Everyone got beta access over there.
Yeah. And they also had a couple, I don't remember what they were, but they did have a couple more early access.
They showed Ark was coming. I'm sure that's going to be an early access game on there.
Yeah, but...
And we also didn't touch on HoloLens at all, which did look very impressive, but...
For the low price of $1 million.
Yeah, sure.
I if the controller's $150, I don't know how much that technology is going to be.
I don't care about HoloLens. It looks impressive, but it's not for me. Yeah.
All right, so then we moved from there to Electronic Arts, EA, which had a lot up their sleeve. You know, Garden Warfare 2, Mirror's Edge 2, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and they started things off instead with Mass Effect Andromeda, which was a little more than like a hey, it exists type moment.
And it's coming not now, but it's coming next year.
It was more like, hey, it exists and it has planets and it has people shooting guns.
And aliens.
That's basically
there's a
what it was.
Krogan in the trailer. If you blink, you miss him, but there is a Krogan in there. So, and a human.
I think. What do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be a new character?
Yeah.
Okay, that'd be great. Yeah. So there's going to be a new trilogy probably. Great. I love Mass Effect. I think it's going to be interesting to see where they go in terms of. Will they learn from like the criticisms for Mass Effect 3, not in terms of just the ending, but more so the going back a little bit mechanically to Mass Effect 2, because I think a lot of people prefer the balance there a bit better over Mass Effect 3. So we'll see. But right now, I mean, it's all CGI, so we don't really have much to comment on. I mean, they kind of hinted a little bit of gameplay. You know, they had the ground pound attack with the sword, which seemed to have like almost everybody at E3 wanted to do a ground pound. I guess Destiny's done its influence.
Ground pounds and girls. That's the themes of the year.
Well, that sounds like another thing. Ground pounds and girls. Okay,
I'm totally confused, but
that has other connotations.
We'll move on. They went through their whole slew of sports titles. Which
Pele,
the most awkward moment of E3 where Pele said, "I'm from the cosmos and soccer is beautiful," and then talked for like 30 minutes about I don't even know about what.
Again, I'm sure you love Pele because you're a huge soccer fan, right?
Yeah.
Pele would kill me if he heard me say soccer, but they literally got an old man and sat him down and had him there talking. And old people like to talk. Yeah.
It just didn't fit. It was a cool moment, but it didn't fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where I think EA just kind of didn't play to their audience. You know, I don't get me wrong. I understand that NBA is huge, Madden is huge, FIFA is huge, and even though we make fun of sometimes of these sports games, most of these sports games make tenfold what the games that we love.
Yeah.
So they have to showcase them. I get that, but I think that they need to remember who is watching that conference. Sure. It's not the people who play FIFA regularly, because those husbands and maybe those people, they're at work or they're doing other things. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to go and watch your conference. So I think that was a bit of a mistake. And the same thing was with their mobile stuff. They spend way too much time on that too.
Like, man, Twitter, when she said, and now let's talk about mobile. Twitter, man, it was hilarious.
Especially because they went sports and then mobile.
Yeah. And then back to sports.
Yeah, because it's like they didn't give people any breathing room. So
but remember, like Max said, that is like their bread and butter.
Yeah.
The exclusive NFL license, basically the exclusive soccer license for all intents and purposes, and then the rest of the spectrum they're trying to pump into NHL. And NBA.
Speaking of exclusives, by the way, guys, exclusive here. Zach cannot take it to the next level. Okay, that has been confirmed today.
He kept talking to FIFA about like elevate your game to the next level.
Yeah,
and I just don't understand.
And he doesn't understand it because he can't reach the next level. Okay?
What kind of feature is
that?
Hey,
you don't gotta know.
Right. Up your competitive level. What does that even mean?
Just up it.
Just up it.
Just up it.
The game just
it's
ups
that
it for
simple. You don't gotta make this difficult.
You gotta up it.
Yeah.
Garden Warfare 2 kicked things off for them.
Awesome.
Orange,
which I thought looked really good. I've played it. Max has seen a bunch of it.
I made it.
Yeah.
Gabe made it. And I mean, it's more Plants vs Zombies, but it feels like it's leaning in the right direction. The new characters, as you could see from the trailer, are way more dynamic and interesting than the old characters. I'm a little bit concerned about that dynamic, but like how they mix together. No. But it definitely is like a sequel, right? It's more of what we liked plus more content. It's a full $60 release, and they are keeping the free DLC, which is You know.
And they're saying they're going to support the crap out of that game. So I didn't mean to just play footsies with you there, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great. That was certainly. I think that was probably. I'm not sure if it was I think it was the best showed game. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because Mass Effect and even with Mirror's Edge, it's like we got it, but not really. You know, whereas with this, they really kind of like said like, look, here's the game. And I think that's why people enjoyed the Bethesda conference. I think in general, this trend of doing maybe more focus on specific titles, I think pays off, because you can see that builds excitement. I think when you can kind of have more than just 2 minute sizzle reel to explore the game a bit. So I think they did really well with the Garden Warfare, and I guess we could transition to Mirror's Edge.
They didn't have a new
They did. The Unraveled was them.
Yeah, right? The Yarn, yeah.
Which, like, have they been playing a lot of Yoshi's Woolly World? Like the early copies of the I got from the UK.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we can move on. Oh, we didn't rate them.
No, you got Mirror's Edge. No hot or cold on that?
No, Mirror's Edge looks great, and it's coming soon in February, right?
Right, there was no real like gameplay demo. I guess like the showmanship of these things is weird. Obviously, the main target is just appealing to the world, right? Like the general consumer and whatnot.
Oh, Battlefront!
But
they showed a good portion of it.
But for these, like, again, like what Bethesda did of coming on stage being like, "Here's our game, let me like walk you through it," boom. Or what PvZ did of like, "Here's our game, here's some cool features," boom. As opposed to like, remember, you're in the jungles of Norman, like what, like that whole like BS kind of like acting, you know, drama of it, I just don't like. And I wish they would just say, here's a gameplay demo, enjoy. Because even from Mirror's Edge 2, that game is playable on the show floor, confirmed. Yeah. And we got, what, like a few seconds of gameplay in the trailer?
I want to play that. We're playing that tomorrow, right? Yeah. Okay, that's what I want. It's not Andromeda, it's Andromeda.
Andromeda?
Yeah.
That's what I said.
No, because you said the drama of it. Andromeda.
Oh, okay. Gabe's puns. Tune in tomorrow and every day this week for more. We'll be here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know why, if that game's like coming out in 8 months, why don't we see a full demo at the stage, like their stage show? And instead they spent more time on their mobile. I guess again, it's just who their target audience is and what they're speaking to.
So I'm giving it a C.
Okay.
Even though strong games, very strong games, like my most anticipated games seem to be coming from them.
Really?
Mirror's Edge and Mass Effect. I love those franchises. Well, Mirror's Edge is barely.
And they showed some multiplayer gameplay from Battlefront.
Yeah.
What did we
Which
think of
looked
that?
insane.
Yeah, it looked
nuts. Really, especially if you watch the instead of watching the stream, if you watch like the actual gameplay on YouTube, the 60 frames, 1080p. Oh, like if I wasn't excited for that before, that thing made me hyped. It was so dynamic. Only thing I would say that I didn't like, particularly didn't look great, was in third person, the ship combat looked a little weird. Like the models looked a little strange. Yeah.
I thought the UI sucked, but other than that, it did definitely like make me more excited for the game. I don't understand why the UI is like looks like it's like a fifth grader designed UI, like giant cards for the abilities.
I made that too. Like, I made that too.
You made that too.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Don't let Gabe make your games. That's the lesson of the day.
So I said C. What are you guys doing here?
You said a C. I'm gonna say. I mean, in the sports stuff, I guess, but I would have to go even lower and say like a C minus. I didn't feel like Mirror's Edge, like last year, Mirror's Edge and Mass Effect, the upgrade that we got to this year was very minimal, right?
Well, no, it's not minimal, because last year we got pictures.
We got pictures of Mass Effect, and now we have a CG short trailer. Mirror's Edge went from a trailer with a little bit of gameplay to a trailer with a little gameplay. Strictly on
No, there was a good amount of gameplay in there. Not a lot, but there was. I'd say at least 40% of it was gameplay. 30.
Yeah, but the game comes out in 8 months. Why are we not just getting a demo?
You'll see it tomorrow.
Did you learn anything about that game from the trailer?
That it's an origin story.
Did you learn that it's open world, that there's race missions, that there's puzzle solving missions, that there's story missions?
No, they did mention open world.
I'll learn that tomorrow.
Well, anyways, that's kind of interesting. I think how they managed to.
Yeah, but the problem is, again, we're rating what we saw.
So C minus.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. I give it
for me like a 6.5. I think they were the worst.
Okay. And then that carries.
Did you watch the Ubisoft one?
To Ubisoft.
Okay, let's talk about Ubisoft.
Give us the goods, Max.
They're next.
Okay. First of all, again, South Park. I'm not a huge fan of it, but that was a big surprise, right?
Huge
Especially
surprise.
what was the name of it? Rough
This
butthole?
is something butthole.
What was it?
The butthole.
Roughed butthole.
Yeah,
no?
something like that.
Something like that.
Rough butthole is what it's
No,
called.
it's not rough butthole. It's
I
something
think
butthole.
that's what it
Incomplete
is.
butthole
Something
or-
butthole. But like it's not like butthole. Like
yeah,
a,
it's just
like
a butt and then a hole, like a hole.
Yeah,
like a lot
yeah.
of no. Yeah, because it's not a hole.
No,
not
no, like whole, like WHOL.
The entire. Okay,
That's why I think it's rough but not whole or something like that.
Yeah, I'll look.
Yeah, I think it's rough butthole. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
But maybe I'm wrong.
What are the
So nonetheless, they mentioned that. Then after that, we see a new game that they're doing called For Honor. Right.
That looked cool. That looked cool.
What game is this?
And it's fractured.
Which, by the way, was revealed by the fractured butthole. Yeah, that's what it is.
What's
the medieval one, For Honor.
Oh.
I thought that looked sweet. I thought that looked really cool.
Dude, that was revealed by the greatest man to ever step on. Did you see that guy?
Oh, dude, I
He
want to
had
be
a
like him when I
cane,
grow up.
and he looked like Wolverine out of Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
Like he was just
Gains some
incredible
pounds.
looking.
I read online because I was actually not watching this part of the cards that it was like Ubisoft's Dynasty Warriors and Gabe's like no, and then I saw it and I was like yes.
No, it looks so much better in Dynasty Warriors.
It looks like Rise mixed with Dynasty Warriors.
It looks more Rise.
But then Ubisoft has their like definite schmear all over
It's
it.
a little weird because it's like it is Dynasty Warrior-esque in terms of like if it's pure gameplay, like you versus just the AI, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But then you involve the element of you have to fight other players on the other team. So then it almost has almost like a MOBA type feel as well, you know, where you have like your minions and your team. It at least that's the vibe that I got from it. I don't know. Like again, we saw very little of it, but at least it was all gameplay. So
there's a lot of that game out there.
Yeah.
Because they didn't show it during the conference, but there's like another like 7-minute video of them.
oh sure, but I'm saying for the conference, yeah,
Okay.
like that. I didn't get a chance to watch that other stuff, but for the conference stuff, like what we saw was like basically like one specific encounter and a little bit background stuff. Then what else did they show? They showed
More Division.
Yeah, they showed more Division, which honestly, I think, I know that a lot of people might be like, oh, it's just another Ubisoft game. But for me, like that's my kind of game in terms of just being like an action RPG. So like to me, that's my preferred style of RPG. So it probably just kind of scratches my specific kind of itch. So I enjoyed it. I thought it looked interesting. That's a little weird. Well, based on the things you two have been doing, I'm okay.
I thought like
what else?
They
Rainbow
had
Six Siege.
Yeah. What?
No, I mean the big one, I guess. Even though no one
Let's
seems
just
to
talk
care.
about Siege real fast.
Okay.
Siege having no single player. What does that make you feel?
It has terrorists. I don't care. I don't want to play single player.
It has terrorists, yeah.
terrorists-
And it's gonna come with Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2.
What does that tell you about the length of the game? We're gonna give you 2 other
No,
games.
no. Yeah, but it's not a matter of the length of the game. I think
Look
it's
at it all.
because they're trying. I think they realize like, okay, value. How
That's on
can we
Xbox One only, by the way.
What?
Rainbow
increase that?
Six 1 and 2. That was announced.
Yeah,
by Microsoft.
that's an Xbox One. Yeah.
That's another place that they put
Yeah.
the money.
No.
Again, I think that game is going to live and die just like Evolve by how the community adapts to it. If people enjoy it, great. The one thing that I was surprised by is that it's in beta in September when there's already been like plenty of
It was
gameplay
alpha.
for it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but still, that felt like a beta already. You know what I mean? Like because it was so much of it. So
Well, it was 2 maps.
I found it to be a little weird. So we'll see. I don't know. It's not my kind of game, but I could totally see how it appeals to some.
What I find weird about that though is like Evolve is like a wholly new thing, right? It's a new concept, so it's multiplayer only. Titanfall sort of similarly. Rainbow Six has been a game, and those multiplayer modes have been a game, and now they're just selling you half of it for full price.
Maybe there is a single player that they're not mentioning.
No,
I'm
there's
clinging
not.
on to that. I know
No,
there isn't.
there
I
isn't.
feel like there isn't, but there's always a
I
chance.
think it's their experiment to say, can
Dude,
we sell a multiplayer only game?
I thought they were gonna mention the single player because her words were, so far we've only talked about multiplayer. Now let us show you. I'm like, oh,
She
single
said
player.
there's 4 modes.
Yeah. Terrorist isn't one of them, is it?
I'm
That's
assuming it
separate.
is.
That's separate. I
I'm
think.
assuming that's one of the modes.
I think that. I hope not. Whatever. What else did they show?
They showed the crew expansion.
Yeah,
Anyone
oh, okay.
Jonesing for that.
They showed what I originally thought was a resurrection of the Claw trilogy. They were gonna finish out the Claw trilogy. Did you see that, Max? I saw.
I did.
I saw the cat. I'm like, what the? Is
The
this
cat
Claw?
riding the unicorn.
Yeah. But it's
And I come out on stage
Yeah, it's a Trials.
That's why Max couldn't make it to E3 because he was secretly saving.
I do a French accent right away. I'm like, oh, je parle Max.
Let's say what it actually is, though. It's a Trials Fusion expansion where you ride a cat on a unicorn. And
listen, people love Trials, and great, more Trials. It's the same thing, like with Trials and stuff like that. Like, just because it's not like my cup of tea, there's lots of people that love that game. So the same goes with like Just Dance, right? Like to us, we're like, oh, that's so stupid. Why are you showing it? But it's a massive seller for them. And this whole subscription thing, I'm sure for people that love Just Dance, I'm sure people will really, really appreciate that because they get consistent content.
Can we agree that guy was terrible at singing, though? Like, they could have gotten someone else.
I didn't even know that was him. I was like, who is this guy? Is he
That's
just
what
like,
I said. I know his Wiggle
I thought they were doing karaoke. Yeah. And I was like, and then he's a professional singer. I didn't know.
Assassin's Creed looked like Assassin's Creed.
That felt so flat. No gameplay at their conference. No. And then it's not... Like, Unity's big thing was like, hey, now we're next gen, we have scale. I don't know what Syndicate's thing is.
Now there's a girl. That's all you need.
That's it. We have a girl.
Oh, you complained about no girls last time. Now we have a girl. You can play as her.
That's what they had to spend building those animations. Took them the whole year.
Yeah. And the big one, I think this is the big one of the show is Ghost Recon because that was a surprise. You might not care about the franchise, and that's cool, but I think it looked cool. There was cocaine in it. There was money in it. That's all you need.
Yeah. And it seemed to be in that state that Division was 2 years ago. Yeah, so for sure. This game is easily at least 2 years away.
That to me looks like the very classic Ubisoft game of we're really ambitious and we have no clue what the final product is going to be.
At first, me and Zach were trying to guess what it was.
Like they're showing like, oh, it's in Mexico, south of the border, all this stuff, and then at the end they're like,
I thought it was a Division sequel already.
I told Zach this is a Division in the daytime.
And then all of a sudden they're like, the whole world is your playground and play on every continent, play every mission. You can do everything. Jungles, rivers, cities, towns. Like,
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, they did their Ubisoft thing with it. You know, they Ubisoft it in. Here's a giant map. Here's lots of check marks on the map, and go do stuff on the map. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. And look, to be fair, that seems to be an overall trend, right? Like so many games are becoming open world and going after that motif of where it's like, we're not really going to tell a story anymore. Like here's a toy box and go play in it. And we're just going to give you a whole bunch of tools. And that's what they did with this as well. I don't know. I thought, generally speaking, I thought that they did a good job for Ubisoft. The only thing is that I think their tone about being critiqued was a little bit wrong. Like, you know how they said, oh, we appreciate when you guys sent hate. And before they did the live stream, if you guys watched, they read tweets, mean tweets. They did like the Jimmy Fallon thing.
Aisha Tyler addressed it like right in the beginning. She's like,
it
was funny.
But they still, I don't know. I felt like they were almost like saying like, hey, like back off. Why are you being bullies? But it's like with Ubisoft, with Assassin's Creed, you guys earned it. Like that game was broken. You sold it to consumers as a broken product. Of course they'll be upset. So I kind of wish that they would have addressed that differently and said like, hey guys, we messed up. We're sorry. Instead of, hey guys, stop being mean to us on Twitter. Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's the best way to go.
I thought it was surprising that Watch Dogs, Splinter Cell, Far Cry, Prince of Persia, none of those made an appearance. Yeah. They showed Trackmania, which I thought fell a little flat.
Yeah, I don't care.
Kind of an awkward
moment. It has to be downloadable, right? We said that while we were watching.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's going to be a smaller game for sure.
Yeah. It was very Ubisoft.
Dude, we didn't even mention a lot of games. Like, what did they do the whole time? Because
that's what they did.
That's it?
The Crew, Division, Siege. Their conference was one of the shorter ones for sure.
All right.
I guess...
Yeah. I think the one thing that I was also maybe missing is like last few years Ubisoft was doing like these cool side projects.
Yeah,
like, you know, Grow Home and Child of Light and stuff like that. They didn't show anything like that, which was a bit kind of like a missed opportunity. I wish they would have, again, did some sort of like a very different project for a big AAA. I mean, we saw with like EA doing the Unravel thing, right? It's like, it seems like bigger companies are trying that stuff on. So it would have been nice to see Ubisoft do that as well. But I think that Ubisoft did the opposite of like EA in terms of like, I think they played very well to the audience that was watching. And I think generally speaking, I think they did what Ubisoft does, you know, like there wasn't huge surprises, but I think that what they showed was good. I just think a lot of people are probably very doubtful about their games.
I still think For Honor looks sweet, but I'll do a C again, I think.
Yeah, I would give them a C as well. I think For Honor personally is like a really weak choice for a new IP. It's about as generic as you can get. There's a lot of games like that, and I thought Rise, Dynasty Warriors, Chivalry.
No.
I mean,
no.
It looks like it's straddling an awkward line between being a hardcore combat game and being a mash. Like, when you fight the one-on-one guy, yeah, you can block and deflect and whatever, but then in the big battle, you're definitely not doing that.
Yeah,
and I just feel like the medieval theme, knights and swords, like, I don't know, like, I guess that completes their trifecta of, like, oh, we've got Far Cry and animals, we've got assassins, now we've got, knights and soldiers and dragons, but it's like...
Who did the Pirates game? Who was that?
That was Rare, and that was shown at Microsoft.
Okay, and we forgot to mention that.
Which I don't know how well that speaks on that. I thought the 30 for 30 game was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
like $30 for 30 old Rare games. I mean, it's a very
really just
small
that.
market. But what was your score for Ubisoft, Max?
I'd probably give him like a 7.
Okay. And one thing I wanted to briefly touch on that we forgot, and again, maybe it speaks to the quality. Dark Souls 3 was kind of one of Microsoft's bigger surprises. I know they got leaked early, but that would have been one of their kind of like, hey, brand new game moments. They didn't show any gameplay, and they said it's gonna be the last Souls game, which I thought was
they said the last Dark Souls game.
Oh,
I'm sure there will be another Souls game.
Well, no, maybe they're gonna go Bloodborne and then
sure,
Spaceborne
and then Dead,
Dark
Dead,
just totally dead.
Yeah, Darkborn. All right, yeah, we forgot a lot of those
Dark
things.
Souls 3. I don't know. It's very soon. I mean, early 2016. Especially since the Scholar of the First Sin edition.
Yeah, it just came out.
Or First Sin of the Scholar, whatever the heck that's called, and Bloodborne, both within a year of that. I don't know. It seems very soon, but yeah.
I think they're just trying to cash in on the
hype of them.
Because that genre, I guess, is very, very hot right now. So why not? I mean, look, from what I saw, the people who love Dark Souls were very excited. They said that giant is like, it's going to change gameplay and it's going to offer like new mechanics.
I
so
believe
I don't know.
Playing it tomorrow, so we'll see.
Yeah. Then
Sony.
I think that's the big one.
Then the big one, the most. Sorry, I'm just going to say one thing is that one thing that we're going to definitely experience is that you got to remember, guys, we just were basically exposed to over probably 200 games in total. So it's going to be maybe hard for us to remember everything and be as fair. Maybe if I went back and watched Microsoft conference again or something, I could, maybe they actually did better than what we thought. So we may have some biases towards Sony because they're the most recent one.
And let me just get this out of the way just so I can get my hate mail.
Well, you can just not say it. And don't
I'm gonna say it. I think that a couple things. I think Sony going last is a huge favor, and I think that for whatever reason, the fan base that's there and the fan base that's online somehow is much more excited about whatever they say than any of the other companies. And I think that somehow they have achieved this kind of Zen status where anything they say on stage somehow draws massive cheers. Like Jack Tretton killed it. The guys we'll go through the games, but stuff like Shenmue and Final Fantasy 7, those are not going to be big sellers. And they're freaking out about them.
Final Fantasy 7 will sell millions.
No, that's a 50-year-old game that had bad gameplay.
Final Fantasy 7 will sell millions.
No, I really don't think it will.
I really think we're I think maybe we may not think it will, but I really think that.
And I love Final
Fantasy 7. It's the same thing as Fallout, where I genuinely never thought that Fallout was this big, but I really think that Fallout may shatter all game record sales
but look at the sales of Final Fantasy 13, 13.2, 13.3. Those are not high.
No, but those are also bad Final Fantasy games.
And so they're basically telling you we can't get 15 done, so instead we're going to remake an old one.
7's coming after 15.
Well,
7 isn't.
Forget it. Why am I?
We're not getting 7 for at least 2 or 3 years.
And then at that
But did you see what they did to it? I mean, look at how. Remember what Final Fantasy used to look like, and then if this is what they're doing to it.
Dude, it looks.
The gameplay is gonna feel so antiquated.
No, it's turn-based.
Yeah, it's old.
Dude, the material system is great, man. I want chocobo race.
Your nostalgia is totally blinding you.
No, it's not.
It's a boring game.
Chocobo racing and breeding in that game was fun.
Boring game. Go back and play that on your VR.
I am gonna level all my characters. I'm gonna get all my limit breaks. I'm gonna get all my legendary
Only people
weapons.
that are excited are people over 30.
I'm not over 30.
And the average median age of a gamer is over 30, so they're doing great.
Zach. All right.
Dude,
okay. So
just so you understand, there was 5 times as many people watching the Bethesda conference as any of the other conferences.
Yeah, dude, that had to be a Twitch record, right? 530,000 people. I don't know.
No, they had 560 something at one point.
Has anything ever been close to that?
Well, I know that the League of Legends finals and stuff gets a lot.
but that gets like 2 or 300.
This though. Why is Final Fantasy VII Remastered so much greater than Gears of War Remastered?
First of all, people have been asking for Final Fantasy VII Remastered for a long time. All right, here's the other thing.
Well,
Final Fantasy VII came out so long ago, and it wasn't HD. It looked like it was little polygons.
So if they were gonna make Super Mario Bros. HD, you'd want that?
We got it.
No, just like the full-on remake of that game.
All right, let's move off the Final Fantasy thing, man. Why you want to hurt people?
No, I just think, look, it's a very different thing because they're not like, even with Gears, it's going to be a very minuscule upgrade. I don't think it's going to be like, oh my God, look how much better Gears Ultimate looks.
So this is just like fantasy fulfillment then?
Yeah, dude,
whereas this is going to be like a huge, like, did you see that trailer? Like, if that's what they're going for, like, this is a huge reimagining.
Well,
so
why does that matter? If they were going to say, oh, Blink's the Time Sweeper from the original Xbox is now in Hyper HD, like that doesn't
but that game doesn't have the gravitas that this game had. This game is loved. This game wouldn't exist if people didn't want it. People have been asking for this for years.
I think it's a cash-in for Square because they can't get anything done.
Yes, they can.
Really? Kingdom Hearts 3, where is it? Final Fantasy 15, where is it?
Final Fantasy
well, tomorrow we have a conference and hopefully we'll see this.
Yeah, you don't know. You're not from the future. He's from the future.
You're not going to see either. Okay, let's get to their first game, Last Guardian, which is like the moment, right?
Yeah, they went first with Last Guardian.
That was just a special moment in gaming, I think, because this game is like 8 years, right? It's been in development basically. So I don't know. I just think that it was almost more special that the fact that it exists and the fact that we saw nothing but gameplay and the fact that it is coming.
Yeah, next year.
I think it was a bit of a cop out to do 2016. I kind of almost wish like they would have gone like really firm on that and said like February 20 whatever 2016 and that's it, so that you could really kind of like just, you know, have a concrete solid date instead of again saying something like it's 2016 guys. Yeah, we hope.
Okay,
so
all right, so we'll talk about Shenmue. Let's just get the negative stuff out of the way for you. Shenmue, a franchise that I like, but I'm not like super, I haven't gotten to fund it or anything like that. That's not what I'm doing, but people have been wanting this for a long time, right? And to me...
But how many people?
A lot. Have you seen the numbers? Let's check it right now.
How many people have contributed? Not dollars, but how many people?
I'll check right now. Don't worry about it. All right, but the thing is, like, these companies are giving people what they want.
I'm not saying that they're not exciting things. I'm just saying, like, I think from maybe like a really hardcore player standpoint, Sony knocks it out of the park for you, but I think maybe more for a General Joe Walmart customer.
Yeah.
That Microsoft's lineup maybe appeals more. Forza 6, Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
probably. Maybe. Yeah, but what we're doing here is that the people who tune in to twitch.tv/PlayStation at 9 o'clock Eastern is not General Joe.
Yeah.
How much is it already?
All right, 1.178 million.
Yeah, but how many people backed it?
Right about 14,000.
14,000 people.
Yeah.
You want to sell a game that sells 14,000 copies?
No, it'll sell more than that.
Okay.
This thing just went live a few hours ago.
I mean, that's not a big seller.
No, but Zach,
it's not.
Dude, like you were gushing over Ukulele. What's wrong with people being excited about Shenmue?
No, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying I don't know why it's at the E3 conference is a huge deal. They're not even funding it fully.
They didn't even like look. The thing is, we got to remember, like, even with Final Fantasy VII exclusive? They didn't say it was exclusive, was it? Yeah, weird. So it's like all this is still except for Last Guardian. Everything we talked about is still third party potentially.
Yeah.
So,
because I've played these games.
Whatever, Shenmue, great.
How much of Shenmue did you? I'm not saying you didn't play these games, but I've played them a lot when I was a kid. Like, I love Final Fantasy VII. I would mess with so much materia. Like, I beat all the ultimate weapons, all that. Like, I did everything I could in that game.
I just don't like remasters. Like,
and that's fine. That's perfect. Nothing wrong with that. But I am one of the people that have wanted this for a long time because I like that battle system. I like the simple turn-based.
I hope they release it 3 times like GTA 5 and you can give them $180 then.
I'll give them $200.
Okay, go for it. I will give them $200 for Horizon Zero Dawn, which is a really strange name.
My God, that is my game of the show.
Yeah, that's game of the show so far. It has
for sure, hands down. More than Fallout.
Yeah, to me, yeah.
For me, yes.
Yeah, me too.
For me, yes.
Okay.
Wait, Gabe, you just said yes?
Dude, that game looked fucking amazing. I'm sorry. The game looked...
Wait, you're more excited about Project Horizon Zero Dawn than Fallout 4, the game that is created and crafted by gods.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is literally gods.
Like, this is a game that we've been talking about since before last E3, and I was blown away by the vision that they were able to realize. Like, I heard a lot of rumors about it. but it basically felt like if you took stuff like The Witcher, Skyrim, and elevated it to a much more next-gen level. Like, obviously, it's far off. We don't know what it really is like, but just the scenario that they played through right there, I mean, would you agree? Like, it felt like a next-gen open world.
Like, that's my game of the show so far. And the reason I'm not picking Fallout is because Fallout's coming, right?
Yeah, okay.
It's coming fairly soon. So I don't need to get super excited for it because I'm going to be playing it. This is something to look forward to, right? And another female protagonist, which is cool. She's that girl from Brave in the future. There's robot dinosaurs now.
I saw that joke.
We didn't really get a sense of if it's like open world, single player, multiplayer, like what the...
Yeah, that's single player.
You think it's just a straight up
I don't know
player,
if it's
like
straight up single player, but that looked very single player like to me.
I thought it was really interesting, and then Max, I'll let you give your piece, but I thought it was really interesting that I assumed it was a game set way in the past, but in fact it's a game set way in the future.
Yeah.
Like the city's all burnt out because people are stupid, and now we're back to ground zero, and there's also giant robot dinosaurs roaming everywhere.
Yeah.
I wish people could see the text I sent you. I'm like, dude, it's fucking...
It was freaking out.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like, I was losing my crap, or shit, I can say.
It was insane. Like, I honestly, I don't know why I have a feeling like, I don't know. I will say I did predict Fallout 4 coming out this year, so...
We all did.
No, the very first time we talked about it, I think you said it most likely won't.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
We can go back to it. All right.
Gabe's going to go back to the archives.
Yeah.
I think it comes out next holiday.
What? Horizon? No way. This one I will firmly say no way.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm gonna go with Max for sure. Next holiday for sure. Uncharted 4, they burn out in March.
Yeah,
they don't have
I think it's the big game for the next holiday.
It's not God of War. And remember, Killzone Shadowfall was being developed for a number of years, released at the launch of PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And
this thing has been in development for 2 years at least.
More than that.
And
they had a secondary team working on it.
Yeah, and the gameplay they showed of that, I felt like, okay, it's one thing to show the Gears level and like, oh, they're going to fight these guys in the arena. The dynamic nature of that demo, to me, says that they have a lot more systems in place than like something like Gears where you can just do a vertical slice. Still a vertical slice, but like when she first starts and you see those really tall long neck robo dinos walking in the distance, and then a little one comes up in the foreground and she's high, like that to me, like
she says sorry to it, like
it spoke to like we're advanced, we're far along in this thing.
Man, Guerrilla makes pretty games too.
I mean,
like, that game looked pretty.
Generally, like if you haven't seen it, the concept is basically she's a hunter, but she's hunting technological animals. She's hunting like technology, which is already an interesting concept in and of itself, because as she kills it, she kind of like feels bad. Like a lot of like actual hunting, it's like, you know, you almost like have to pay tribute to the kill or whatever. So that was a really cool moment. And then I think the coolest aspect was when she's able to scare away this giant herd of robots, and all of a sudden here comes this big ginormous thing, T-Rex looking, almost Metal Gear Rex looking thing that she has to fight. And there it's when we see the applications of there's a whole bunch of weapons and each one of them has a specific role to like in helping you take down the actual monster. Like one is really cool where she shoots like wires into it and then points down, and that keeps the actual monster wired down into the ground so that it won't move and it'll stay spotted like in one area. The other like can shatter the armor, and then she has like a super powered up bow and arrow. I mean, that moment like of the takedown of that monster felt so dynamic, and I just thought to myself, when that bird lands at the very end of the trailer, what am I supposed to use to take that thing down? And then imagine to extrapolate that out to many fights like that.
The Witcher was good. Like that's what it would be like.
Yeah, and it zooms out at the end. Like it's a big world. It's big.
Yeah, and to me it felt like a fusion of like The Land Before Time, Enslaved, and Transformers, which I think is a pretty hot combo.
Yeah, I thought of Enslaved when
a little bit of that vibe,
too.
like in terms of how Monkey and the girl would like tear robots apart and kind of, you know, have issue in that post-apocalyptic world. But yeah, it was the only game of the day, I feel. Like sure, Last Guardian had tons of hype. Sure, Final Fantasy 7 tons of hype. Sure, you know, Halo, Gears, but it was the only game that I felt gave you kind of like that, wow, I love gaming and E3 is so cool moment. Like that was the moment of like the future of games. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to, because that's the one thing. It's like something that wasn't announced and is great.
Yeah,
and that was it. So that was absolutely hotcakes. Of course, we got to talk about PlayStation Vue.
No, we don't.
PlayStation Vue. You got their Vita like B-roll.
Yeah, they had a Vita B-roll.
By the way, PlayStation Vue is going to be a big deal, I think. Just saying for general
Vue.
Max is French. He's from Canada.
Oh.
I'm calling it French, bro.
Oh, I was like, what are you doing?
V-U-E. It's Vue. If you spell that, it's Vu. But yeah, because that's cool. Like you can basically choose what channels you want. You don't need to have a cable box no more.
I mean, they showed Batman, but I feel like we can just wait on that 'cause it's coming out next week.
Yeah, we'll wait for that for sure.
Joker's on fire, so obviously he's not in the game, Zach.
Could be Clayface.
Oh, not in the game. Only because he's in the suit. That's the bait and switch. Get that ketchup mouth ready, Gabe.
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Down
I'm scared.
your throat. It's going to happen.
All right. So did they show anything else besides Uncharted?
They totally did. They showed Dreams, the new project from Media Molecule.
Which looks weird, but they admitted, like, we know this looks weird. Like, this takes people a while to get used to, but this is what it is. And
they showed No Man's Sky a little bit.
That
Still don't know what that game really is.
the scale of that is stupid. Not stupid as in it's, like, dumb. It's just, like, ridiculous.
Unbelievably ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
is
know.
that real?
How do you make that? See, because I think what they did is, like, they made a planet, right? And then the planet next to it will be like the same planet, it's just like a different color or something. Because how else do they do this? Because they said a lot of these planets we haven't even seen ourselves. How are you making them? I don't get it.
Well, you have to do. I think that it was probably something along those lines where they'll have like a planet and then a certain set amount of settings, and for each planet it'll like randomly generate those settings.
But no date again.
Yeah.
No.
He said that's coming soon. Who knows?
I thought it was weird that both The Witness.
No. He said we're going to announce a release date soon.
Yeah,
he didn't say it's.
No. I was talking specifically about the date. He said that the release date is coming soon. Yeah.
No appearance of Jonathan Blow as The Witness, which was shown before the PS4 launch. Still don't have it. Still no clue when that's coming.
Did you hear about last E3 though? Like they were showing it, and like 2 people went, and nobody really.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
And Rhyme wasn't there, which I was really hoping for. That was the indie game I was most excited for. They didn't really have much of an indie.
Microsoft did it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then they showed Call of Duty, which.
Weird.
Interesting change of allegiance there. Black Ops looked like
map exclusivity first.
I heard an interesting talk about that of like Microsoft has the money, right? So they must have felt that it wasn't worth the investment.
Oh yeah, I think it's just due to the install base. I think because the install base on the PS4 is so much bigger now that Activision was just like, listen, makes a lot more sense for us to be there.
Yeah. Perhaps. I mean, Destiny. Aligning with PS4, Call of Duty, and Battlefront, like that's a pretty scary trio of games. And Destiny, gets the big expansion.
Yeah, I mean, all shooters. If you play shooting games, you're gonna play them on the PS4.
Yeah.
And then Battlefront, they showed what was like a trial single.
Yeah,
it's like a horde mode. Yeah, it's kind of like a horde mode type thing. Yeah,
a single player.
Yeah.
No, you can.
Yeah.
It is, but
I'm kind of surprised that Gabe isn't bragging because from what. He may have been right.
I know.
They may be doing it. They may be doing
and
a
Zach
disc.
won't admit it.
They're not doing a disc of just the DLC. There's no way.
Okay.
There's not.
All right.
There's no way.
No, they showed there's a picture of a game case where it says Destiny, the king of whatever.
It's the Taken King. Yeah, and it's just
the king of bad games that should be better.
Yeah, that's fine, but it's I was right, and I told you.
But I still think Destiny's on there.
You want to put this out now or later?
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
We made a bet. We made a bet.
Listen, I don't think that you can sell a disc that then you put in the disc tray and it says does nothing. Please insert Destiny.
You install it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a giant weird thing if they do.
As long as we made I was right, as long as you wear a hat, that's all I care about.
Sure. We'll see. I mean, it hasn't been confirmed 100%, but there's some pictures online.
It seems like.
And to be fair, what I will say about Destiny, just a quick little thing. I think that it actually looked interesting in terms of the planet that they went to looked different than what we've seen before. And then the second thing, I really, really like the diversity of the creatures. No, the creatures.
Oh, really?
Like, because remember that big red guy that looked almost like an evil Baymax? Then you had like all these like the creatures didn't all feel like they were one species. They actually felt like they were a different species because you're on a different planet. So I don't know. I really like the actual diversity of the characters there.
Did you feel for the hype that like Black Ops 3 Treyarch being back, like that demo fell really flat? Like the single player was completely unimpressive in any way.
Well, they also showed like the co-op idea, right? That's what they went for. They decided to not just show you like your typical Call of Duty, where it'd be like kind of somewhat scripted, where they run through to an epic scene. It was more so, hey, we're gonna have 4-player co-op, and here's how it's gonna work. So
your webcam turned off.
There we go.
Back never mind.
The multiplayer I thought looked interesting, but the single player didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of their weaker showings because normally that draws like a lot of praise and a lot of attention, and it seemed to kind of be stuck in a weird spot.
I'll be honest. I was doing something. I was like writing something when that happened. So I don't know.
And then I think that moves us to
Uncharted.
There was no Persona 5 appearance, right?
No, that's like a Tokyo Game Show.
We also forgot to mention that Hitman.
Man. Hitman, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I was right. I guessed it. And it looks super cool. I know it's just all CG.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there's no gameplay, but the fact that, you know, there's a globe-trotting adventure now. You go to different countries and
then
it's a reboot.
You meet up with the Ghost Recon guys.
Yeah, it's a reboot. That's cool, right? No? Maybe you'll like
Sure.
it now. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe they reboot it and it's
Yeah.
not as,
Another reboot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Remasters and reboots, we like those, I guess.
Yeah.
We're supposed to, at least. Uncharted 4 closes the show.
I want to re-eat that pizza from earlier. That was a good pizza. But go ahead.
Gabe really likes Pizza Max, by the way.
No, I don't. Actually, I
Dude,
don't like it as much
pizza's my favorite food, so welcome on board.
We've had, 3 meals, and 2 of them have been pizza for you.
because it's like the closest thing in proximity.
All right. Anyhow.
Whole Foods is better than I thought it was going to be. I tried a sample of something. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I tried a sample of something. I didn't know what the hell it was. I saw it was brown. I'm like, oh, sure.
Oh wow!
I
Sampling brown things.
I ate it, and I was like, what the hell? This is good. And she's like, oh, it has no this and no this, but it has this, and
By
this
the way,
is good for
I
you.
find it weird that you like pizza where tomato sauce is basically ketchup.
Yeah.
But
I've been
you know,
I've been told this many
Gabe's
times
crazy,
in my life.
man.
yeah, weirdo. Okay, so Uncharted.
4. It was a better demo than the last one they showed.
Look cool. I like that they like messed up. Like it wouldn't start at first. I had to like relaunch the demo for the controller to work. I thought that was funny. So whatever. It's an impressive demo.
Yeah.
Uncharted is impressive. And
Graphically?
yeah,
Game?
dude.
What?
It looks good. You can drive a car.
Yeah,
through a
I think
city.
they showed. Yeah, they showed driving. That was the first big thing. Is like you get to drive. It handled well. It seemed to go
Yeah,
really,
he was-
really
he was
fast
drifting, like when he was
and
going
very
down the thing.
dynamic. And then the other thing is that they also showed like the environments get destroyed much more. I think
Yeah.
like if you saw when he would stay behind cover, behind desks or anything, they slowly like got worn down and then would just completely get wrecked. When he was behind that sack of flour or whatever or rice, that stuff was like there's a lot of particle effects around. I don't know. I think Naughty Dog is the best developer in the world, and I really don't see them doing a bad game.
LeBron
so.
James is the best player in the world, so they should hang out.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. It looks like super good, but I've come to expect that from them. So like it doesn't surprise me. Like I think it's very hard for Naughty Dog to surprise me these days, just because I expect such greatness from them. So when I'm expecting greatness, they give me greatness. I'm like, okay.
I like that they showed a lot more of the game than like Tomb Raider did. It's hard to kind of compare them directly like I wanted to because Tomb Raider didn't give us much gameplay. Well, gameplay, but not of the like majority of the gameplay. Yeah. Hopefully we'll play it and have some better thoughts. I thought Uncharted looked great. I think it's very much a sequel type game. It looked great. I'm not gonna bag on it. I wish it was something more, but for what it is, it looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know in terms of like, I don't know what they could do, and they can't just like suddenly take it into a completely different direction and be like, "Hey, it's an RPG now."
I mean, they could integrate some of the Last of Us stuff, like the crafting,
But then the Last of Us isn't as special, so.
Yeah, I think that's like a system that fundamentally like is a key element of Last of Us. Whereas here, that's not part of it. Here, it's a lot more dynamic. It's a fun action game. It's not. It's like it's a very different experience. It's like comparing like a cinematic horror movie to Indiana Jones or something. It's well, Indiana Jones does have some scary parts, but yeah.
Uncharted is looking as good as ever. PS4.
Awesome. Yeah.
There's beta coming, so multiplayer is back, and that's cool.
Yeah, and that's also 2016.
Yeah, that's already 2016. Yeah, it's like.
Yeah,
March.
I mean it's kind of a weird thing because again, I think that Sony didn't really show anything for the rest of the year.
They have Until Dawn and
Until Dawn's coming, but they didn't even show it. They showed like the logo.
And there's what do they have October, November, December? Nothing.
Well, they'll have maps for Destiny and Call of Duty and Star Wars.
They treat the Destiny stuff as like
that was weird.
Yeah. But
that was a bit of a.
Did we grade the one before this? Yes, we did. All right, so this one I'm giving an A.
Really?
Because I love Final Fantasy VII. I do.
Okay.
Right, and I'm happy for because people have been wanting Shenmue. I'm happy for them. Like it was a big moment. Like I'm not even into Shenmue like that, but the fact that it was such a big moment.
Okay.
You want to talk crowd reactions?
I just don't get why they have such a like serious like. You'd think that was like a 10 out of 10 show from the crowd reactions.
Oh yeah, sure. I give it.
Well,
a 9.
I think I think it's also maybe like our expectations. You know what I mean? Like. Because each person goes into it with a different need, like right, like if we saw 2 Project Horizons, for me that would have been a 10 out of 10. Because if we get 2 games of that magnitude, absolutely. Now I personally think that for me, The Last Guardian did impress me, probably more so than the two of you guys. Like, I'm not sure if you found it enjoyable, but I really, really, I don't know. I think that game is going to be very special because I don't know how they did it, but they made me care about that stupid thing already. Like, when it was falling down, I was like, well, come on, help it. Come on, dude, hurry up. Like, you know, so, and that's special. If you can do that in like a few minutes, you're doing something right. Music, emotion, whatever they're doing. So I think that's going to be a very special game.
I don't doubt the quality of the conference. So I just do think it's weird that they have won over so much good faith, like mind share wise, that they just can't
because they did.
They have no games this year though.
No, they don't.
So I don't know.
Well, not really. No, they do have games. It's just they don't have exclusive games.
But so those games are also on Microsoft's. They could have put those in their conference.
Yeah,
but the Taken King is coming first, right? To Sony.
Yeah, but when you see something like, you know, when Microsoft had Call of Duty, people would argue that as one of the reasons why they buy an Xbox.
Yeah, I guess for me it just doesn't apply.
So, and that's fine.
Yeah, and so I think it's just one of those things where maybe a lot of the things that they have with third party you don't particularly care for.
I do. I just don't get why that gives them an advantage. Like me playing Call of Duty there or on Xbox.
To me, Horizon gives them an advantage.
Sure, but the single player or the third party stuff, like, that could have shown up at either conference. I mean, they had Assassin's Creed gameplay also.
No, but it's an extra enhancement, right? Like, because look, now in Mindshare, in terms of application, like, look, a lot of people are talking about like Final Fantasy VII and Shenmue and World of Final Fantasy and all these things. They're talking about it as exclusives for PS4, even though they're not, because they were shown there.
But if you think about it logically, Microsoft has those games plus actual exclusives for this year.
Yeah, this year they admit it. They're sparse as far as exclusives this year, and they admit that fully.
So you give them an A.
Yeah,
for me, I'd say probably an A- because I really loved Horizon. I thought that was great, Last Guardian, but I'm gonna dock it down to the same grade as Microsoft, a B, because none of that stuff we have any idea when it's coming. And sure, Batman's cool out in a week. Sure,
well, Last Guardian we know.
Okay, 2016.
Yeah,
but none of it's this year, and therefore, like, that to me, I'm gonna be seeing most of those games at E3 next year.
Yeah. And the thing is, this year I'll be playing my Xbox more. That's cool. Next year I'll probably be playing my PlayStation more. So that's fine.
And then they'll have Scalebound and Quantum Break and Crackdown and Gears 4. And...
Yeah.
Which honestly are all games that I'm more excited about than everything that they have this year.
Yeah.
So, for me...
Good start, right?
For me...
Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
Yeah. Great day. I think for me it's like a 9. I think that... Because I think what they did right is they did good pacing. It was incredible that they literally, except for the Morpheus thing, and even with that, they didn't fudge that up. Like, they literally got even that right. They were like, hey, we're doing the Morpheus, and here's a game, here's a game, here's a game, and here's a game. Next thing, more games. Yeah. So it was literally 1.5 hours of nonstop gaming. Like, they were just game after game after game after game. They had no breathers or anything like that. I think the pacing was great. And I think what they got maybe a little bit better than Microsoft is diversity of genres. Like, their games, if you take like Last Guardian, you put it on this end, and with No Man's Sky, very artsy, and then all the way to Call of Duty, like, they had all that gamut, you know? They had all the way from the extremes to the casuals. And I think they did great in that regard, where they showed kind of a little bit of everything. And that's good for your system, because you can say we have everything.
In terms of favorite conference, and then let's do our favorite thing of the day. We all said Horizon was our favorite, so let's pick one more. Your favorite conference and favorite game not named Horizon Zero Dawn. Okay.
Man, I'm torn between two. My favorite conference was definitely Sony. Like, that's hands down.
Okay.
Like, the two I'm torn between. The ones that I'm torn between are two that you don't care for. One is Final Fantasy VII. Because I love Final Fantasy VII. Like, that's the first RPG
I want to play it. I've never played it, so this is going to be my reason to play.
Very slow.
No, it's not.
It's very.
He's
slow.
a liar.
Max, you're gonna quit out.
I'll play it. Don't worry.
All right. I want to go between that and I want to say For Honored, because I think that could be very cool.
Man.
Wow.
I think that could be cool, right? And I'm people think I'm a Ubisoft fan. I don't hate them at all. There wasn't anything really new, and to me, that's new. And the fact that I just have such nostalgia for Final Fantasy VII, like, I know that game like very, very well. Mm-hmm. So obviously,
and it looks freaking insane.
Yeah,
like,
obviously I would say Horizon, but
insane.
We're not allowed to say Horizon.
There's no gameplay in that Final Fantasy VII thing, right? I mean,
no.
Spirits Within looked really great years ago as a movie.
No, but those are cutscenes.
Okay, and
those are the cutscenes.
And what does that doesn't say anything about the game. What if the game is the old 8-bit game or 32-bit game with
it's not
CG cutscenes like Halo, remastered cutscenes with the same old.
Sure, maybe that's what it will be. We'll see.
What else was there?
I mean, there's a lot of games today you could pick from.
All right, hold on. Give me a moment. Someone else go first.
He's gonna think. Zach, you go.
My favorite conference was surprisingly Bethesda. I thought it had the best pacing, and I really loved everything they showed. And I liked the extra touch of like, we got something today for you. I thought that was like a really nice, cool extra.
Interesting.
I thought Todd Howard commanded the stage really well as well. I like that they
the best. He was the best speaker.
He threw an F-bomb in there, which is amazing.
And like nothing against whatever, but a lot of the speakers throughout the day today like either lost me or were hard to understand or whatever. Yeah. So Bethesda for me, hands down.
Sorry, I just started. By the way, do you guys agree that, again, I have nothing against, I'm sure she's a wonderful woman, but the woman that described Battlefront and EA, it felt like she was a supervillain. Yeah. Like, every moment I was like, oh no, she's going to say like, all your brains belong to us.
She did say Darth Vader's like her favorite, so maybe she's just like modeling her life after him.
It was just kind of scary, like the tone, not even the accent, more like the way that she was like, da, 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 da. It's like that.
I picked my game.
But yeah, and your game.
My game, Minions Paradise for mobile.
That's our game.
That's shocking.
No, I'm gonna go with Tomb Raider just because even though they didn't show a whole lot, I know what's behind the scenes. The hard part for me, I would say Mirror's Edge too, or Mirror's Edge Catalyst, but like that got even less. Yeah, fanfare. But hopefully we play them both tomorrow and can come back with the report.
Well, it got more gameplay than Tomb Raider, that's for sure.
Okay, so I'll say Tomb Raider because Lara is beautiful, the snow is beautiful, and the whole game.
This just happened yesterday, and I was so dead yesterday. I didn't eat all day, but I went to sleep like at 3 a.m. because I watched the Game of Thrones finale. Like I watched like a West Coast feed.
Yeah, which was insane, by the way.
Yes. Rest in peace to everyone that died. Yeah. But
that's the only thing that happens in that show. From what
you say. Basically,
people get killed, and there's rape, and there's nudity, there's all that. Okay, everything you want in life. Fallout's mine. I forgot that existed for a little bit. Yeah, but yeah,
that's what I was going to bring up because if you guys listened to the previous podcast and the one before that, you guys know that I was like, Fallout, but. I don't know. Maybe it was just the way that Todd Howard presented it or whatever it was, but that game felt like really, really special after that presentation. And to be fair, I think that you take Fallout out of that presentation and there's very little substance there left. I mean, like, again, don't get me wrong. I think Doom is good and whatever, but I think Doom is going to have a very niche appeal, in my opinion. Yeah. I could be 100% wrong, but I think Doom is going to be quite niche and it's going to play a little old. It's going to feel a little bit not modern.
I thought the humor and everything there was so on point of like, oh, here's an old photo from the future of the first Pit-Boy, and it gave you like the gamer vibe, but in a cool way. Yeah. It wasn't like a, how about that one? Like some like awkward moment. So
yeah, I mean, it just looked like a game that was truly made by people that love gaming, and I think that a lot of the components that they showed in terms of like the shooting, for example, looked better. Mm-hmm. I think it looked more. I think there's a specific reason why they showed so much shooting. I think it's to prove a point that, hey, we did this better. Like they tried to point out that this is a much better FPS now.
And they made a believer out of me. I was very skeptical in the game, and I came out like, I'm dying to play that. Tomb Raider and Fallout come out a day apart. Like lock me up and throw away the key. I'm gonna be busy that week.
Did you order the Pit-Boy edition?
No, I didn't.
We pre-ordered it. You got to get on that. We all got to communicate with the Pit-Boys. Even though you can't do that with them, but
guys, it's a plastic watch for
I know.
Like $50.
It's not even a
no, it's not a watch. It's an encasing. You just put your phone in.
Yeah. No, I know. I hope you put the iPhone in, but I'm just saying, like,
I don't think your Plus is gonna fit.
Oh, my phone has to fit.
So you're gonna have to get a new phone too. It's a pretty expensive upgrade. Yeah. But yeah, I think Fallout was because of the fact that I wasn't excited about it going in, but it is. I'm not sure if it's my most anticipated game of this year, like right after Batman. Now it has become my most anticipated game. So
yeah.
And that's this year, which is wondrous.
Great start, man.
Both Dishonored 2 and Doom spring of 2016. Bethesda does it right. Like that shortened hype cycle. Give us more of that, seriously.
And a lot of it was spring.
2016. Oh, yeah, 2016 early spring is gonna be nuts.
It's massive.
Like,
it's massive.
I think that's going to be an insane first quarter.
I am afraid.
Like everybody save your Christmas money. Yeah, save your Christmas money because you're gonna.
Let's just hope all these dates stick. That's the only thing.
We don't want any Batman 18-month delays, but it was a great first day. Tomorrow we actually go to the show floor, actually play stuff. The biggest conference is in the morning, so that's good.
We're missing
the Nintendo conference in the morning, and then
there's also Square Enix after,
Enix in the morning.
And then there's PC in the afternoon.
I want to see that.
3 conferences, and I've got like 8-9 appointments tomorrow. I'll be seeing Halo 5, Black Ops 3, Yooka-Laylee, Tomb Raider, Mirror's Edge. So we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow. Make sure to stick.
And
with
I'll
us.
be graduating.
And Max will be graduating.
Yeah, congratulations again.
Congrats to Max. And
I'll tweet a pic with me with the stupid hat.
Yes, please do. And we'll post it as the thumbnail for the new podcast.
Oh no.
Quick note, we're back on iTunes. We had some issues the past couple weeks, so we deactivated. That's the word. Devacuated. I'm thinking about Fallout.
We're evacuating.
We deactivated the feed. It's back on there now. So if you want to review it again, give us some of that good love in the verbiage sense, definitely do so. And we'll start repopulating the feed with old episodes and new episodes. And we would love your support. We'll have podcasts every single day. And I think now it's time to go.
We got to go.
See what's going on at the
Apparently
Xbox
it's really
Showcase.
busy over there. That's what I'm being told.
All right.
So
we're going to a busy Xbox Showcase downtown LA. Wish us luck, Max.
Yeah. We might get stabbed.
Good luck.
No, we're not that part of LA.
Okay. All right.
Wait, there's a part of LA where you can get stabbed?
I mean,
a large chunk of
Compton
it, I would
isn't
say.
really like the nicest of areas.
South Central LA.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll stay away from there and stay with the games. We'll see you guys tomorrow with game coverage. Let us know in the comments any specific games you want to hear more about. Let us know your favorite game of the day and favorite conference. Words are failing me right now. Twitter.com/volatilegame, Twitter.com/blitzwinger, Twitter.com/GhostRobo. Until next time, for myself, Gabriel, and Maximilius, thanks so much. Have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow for day 1 of E3 proper.
Rise Maximilius Pegasus. I know that's from a cartoon of some kind. Don't remember.
Yes.
Thanks.